Well, as you can see, we're celebrating our last Football Friday here in studio today, and with it, we've been putting in the spotlight the potential impact of the event on, on the economy. What's your assessment on the potential impact on the economy over the next 3 months?
Alishia, I think we've had where consumers have possibly spent a lot of money, even if you hadn't been to a game, you've gone out, you've gone to restaurants, you really have spent a lot of money entertaining, and a lot of businesses are seeing movement away from your regular spending, apparel. No one's really going to the hairdressers, your normal functions. Consumers are not spending there. They've actually put all their cash into the World Cup and entertaining around that. So very positive for that sector, your entertainment sector. But one needs to be cautious, because I think a lot of the man on the street has probably overspent, and we're going to see a lot of pressure coming through the next 3 months in terms of food and apparel. So very cautious, and I think we've had a really good time, and consumers have spent a lot during the World Cup, so very cautious for the next 3 months.
Let's get specific on these retailers though, because one would assume that a differentiation would have to be made between your food retailers and your clothing retailers, for example.
Yes, we've seen a lot of investors putting their cash into food retailers for as a support, but you're going to find that food retailers are going to underperform with the low food inflation. We're finding that, or we think that we're going to see that apparel retailers are going to outperform, with a lot of foreigners coming in and spending on clothes. I think with the cold front that we had during the World Cup, a lot of foreigners didn't expect that cold, so a lot of sales in jeans and jerseys. So very much the apparel retailers have been undervalued and are quite cheap at the moment. We really like Truworths, we like their business, and really undervalued. So I think Truworths is going to outperform in terms of the apparel sector.
Well, it will certainly be interesting to see what unfolds once all of these players start releasing their numbers. For one, we've had South African wholesaler Massmart saying yesterday late afternoon that it boosted 52-week sales by 10%, but that was helped more by new stores and a persistent fall in product prices as well, where comparable store sales inched up just 2.6%. I guess to bear in mind is that this is more a wholesaler operation that we're looking at here when it comes to Massmart.
Yes, Alishia, and consumers, and we saw it starting towards the end of last year, have been spending more on improving their homes. Instead of buying bigger properties, there is more disposable cash to spend on those kind of things. And obviously with the run up to the World Cup, we saw an increase in purchases of TVs, and that obviously is going to slow down, but Massmart really a good story there, and they're going to benefit towards as the rest of the year goes along, obviously with sales coming off a little bit, but definitely a consumer looking to benefit. And we've also seen a lot of families taking holidays over the World Cup. So I think a lot of consumers have gone to look to improve. They've had more time to improve their homes. Very, very good story there.
Well, certainly retailers back in favor as the economy moves out of a recession, as you've highlighted, and also as lower interest rates bolster some disposable income. Now, there's been talk of a possible interest rate cut coming to the fore sooner rather than later, with the outlook for the rest of the year dicey because of high consumer debts on the one hand and rising unemployment on the other. I mean, what's your view with regards to that?
I think the possibility of an interest rate cut is definitely increased. We've seen the FRA being the FRA rate coming off by 10 points today, so definitely the possibility is getting stronger, and very much aware of the fact that consumers have gone and have spent a lot of money during the World Cup, and they're going to be under pressure for the next 3 months. So very much going in, we're quite hopeful that we might see a cut in either the July or September meetings.